Minister for Agriculture and Water Resources. Will the Minister explain to the House how the Coalition Government's support for agriculture is boosting jobs and growth in my electorate and around the whole country?
The Minister for Agriculture and Water Resources.
Well, I thank the honourable Mr. Speaker. I thank the honourable member for his question, and might I say that even in the seat of Lyne, we are doing exceptional work in making sure that we boost the export returns for agriculture. No better seen than in the wine industry, Cassegrain's wines. It was only recently, Mr. Speaker, that I was up there where we met with John Cassegrain, Alex Cassegrain, Jim Mobbs from Bago Vineyards in Port Macquarie, Scott Wright from Wright Robertson at Glencoe in the New England, and also John Drayton, and you should be interested in that, John Drayton from Drayton's Wines in Pecolpin, and the wines were exceptional. The wines were exceptional. Now, Cassegrain's wines have recently won a number of awards, and this underpins the jobs and growth in the Port Macquarie area. They've won gold, silver and bronze industry awards in the 2015 Japanese International Wine Challenge. They won a gold medal for their 2011 Reserve Shiraz, a bronze medal for their 2014 Fremantle Reserve Chardonnay, and gold medals in the Wine Showcase magazine for the Riesling and Vordellos. It is quite clear that as we turn around the wine industry, with international conditions, getting a better return, that there are going to be more jobs. But it's not just there, Mr. Speaker. It's also, and very important, in this day where we're referring to closing the gap, and you might be interested in this, how we are assisting those in the Aboriginal cattle industry to close the gap for their people. We're having exported over more than 3 million head of cattle since we've come to government. We're underpinning the jobs that you can see at the Roebuck export yards at Broome, with Aboriginal people working on Aboriginal land, doing the jobs that they want to do, making money by the sweat of their own brow in their own industry, closing their own gap, not having to rely on other people to close the gap for them. All that we do is make sure we make the way clear so they can make the money that they deserve. They're closing the gap also at Delta Downs in the Gulf with Freddie Pascoe, with about 60,000 head of cattle. They are making real money. They're getting real social advancement for their people. All that we do is make the way clear so they can make their own money in their own industry on their own land. They're closing the gap also with Harry Curtin and the East Kimberley Cattle Company. Harry Curtin driving towards 30 and 40,000 head of cattle, improving the genetics, Aboriginal people working on Aboriginal land, doing the jobs that they want to do, closing their own gap and advancing their own industry, with people employed in fencing and all the other industries that are manifest in this field of endeavour. We are working with the Aboriginals in closing their own social gap by further investment in Aboriginal ranges, in Indigenous ranges in the north. Mr. Speaker, it is through agriculture that so many people in the Aboriginal field are closing the gap. It is through work in agriculture that we are helping this nation and the Aboriginal people close the social requirements of their lives.